he was on his PS4 upstairs, and his did the same. Our DNS server went down, so I don't know what exactly happened, but it's a piece of junk. So yeah, sorry about that. It's an absolute pain in the backside, that. So that means I'm going to have 2 bloody parts of a bloody show again. We came on Twitch to stop that shite. Now then, I maybe cyanide, maybe they say, bloody hell, Bernie, shut the fuck up about all that shit. They're not supposed to know about that stuff. But I'm back. So where was we? We was talking about the let me think. We was talking about obviously the 8 wildcard spots. So you know what? Tell me, because I didn't hear fuck all. What was you saying? Was your big agreement that we should just keep as it is, or was you more likely liking the idea what it was going to do?
I think it depends on the problem this is solving. If it is to promote certain races over the others, yeah, that would work. And let's not forget, for example, if you want to promote legendary edition races, as you said, yeah, goblins are trashed here, halflings are trashed here, but pro elves are not worse than certainly any race which came before, at least not significantly. Amazons, while not great at team values, they certainly can qualify at will. Vampires are not bad. If that's the goal, yeah, it could work. As far as competition goes, if you want to maximize the number of games played, I think it might even be better to drop the maximum 2 races per playoffs restriction, because I see it coming into effect like for 1 or 2 wildcards. So I do not really see that significant. And essentially, it forces that third team with a lot of games, a lot of investment to simply stop playing, because that second race just has an insane record, and while you could be better than 4 wildcard spots, that second wildcard spot with the race is blocking your way. With your race is blocking your way. So
yeah, I know they've been talking about maybe a bit of fluff or getting particular things. I just think. Why are we trying to make people play certain races? Let them play what they want to play. I just don't like it, because so if we only have the 1 chaos spot, for instance, well, chaos is always popular. What else is popular? Lizards are popular. So one season, orcs are popular. So one season we're going to go, you know what? You either finish top orc or top chaos or top lizard, and that's it. But I tell you what. Don't worry, there's 2 halfling spots and there's 2 ogre spots. Yay! I just think it's suicide. I really do, and I fear it's going to come in, and I think it's going to be a car crash. I mean, PC, it won't matter as much because they've got tons of bloody games being played and everything. But I think for consoles, because people, I think with goblins in that, people want to play them for fun. If there's money on the line, do you want to really play goblins when there's money on the line? Not really. Not if you saw purposes to win.
But for the sake of discussion, I'd suggest dropping goblins and halflings as an example, because that's a bit of cherry picking. As you say, I see no value of promoting halflings or goblins, and even then there would be a 6th wildcard assignments.
Yeah,
but still proper races.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but see, the thing is, there is talk of it going random, so it could be any random 8. So that does give you the chance of, halflings. And like I said, what we've got to remember is we can say, oh yeah, well, all these legendary races, there's some decent ones in there, but they all crashed and burned. They all crashed and burned on the Xbox. They all crashed and burned on the PS4. The ogres didn't do now, and that was under Sergal. Gasselmal with the Underworld. There's some ex-champions taking over from these Legendary Edition teams. It wasn't like rookies playing these teams. They was actually champions or semi-finalists like Shagrath. And they all failed. So my point is this. If the champions, the elite of the PS4 Blood Bowl can't do it, then what chance is an average player or someone not as good getting that far with goblins? And all it basically ends up doing is giving a free buy to whoever it is. And I think when it comes to like cash and all that sort of stuff, it's a bit of, it's like obviously I got knocked out by yourself, but on the way there, I had tough games. I had the champion, I then had Duran, and then some people, look, here you are, have a nice halfling team, have a nice goblin team, and it's like, bloody hell. What if someone gets two of them on a trot? It's crazy. I know it's the look of the draw, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see it. I just don't see why we would want two vampire teams, two ogre teams, and that, unless they get there on merit. And I think if it's on wildcard spots for just that race, then it I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's just like, oh, we're bored. What can we do? What can we jazz it up? We do, it doesn't need jazzing up, but what we're going to do it anyway. And I just think, to me, unless they come up with something different, I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't.
I do see merit also in if the problem is solving to get each season a little bit more different than the other. Then I'd say you go all in, like you give 3 or 4 wildcard spots for the same race. And that would certainly make a difference. Having two halflings or 2 goblins does not make a difference. But if you have 4 goblins or whatever, early rounds certainly become so much more interesting, if you wish. Even if it's not for the merit, and also it's also a very serious incentive to play those races. And like essentially, if you just have 2 per race and those wildcard spots are given on random merit, it essentially forbids you from making a wildcard push with some races. It doesn't necessarily makes you to consider push for one of wildcard races. But if you give them a lot of wildcard spots, then hell yeah, I would certainly make a second team in one of those major wildcard pools.
Yeah, right. Moving on to something else. What's come up this week? I got messaged by another coach. I'm not going to name who it is. And he said to me, Benny, I've been disqualified because I've gone over the concede limit. Is it all right to use my wife's account to play this season? Now, obviously, I was like, well, you've been banned already, and then you're going to use another account. It's still you. But obviously, I had a word with obviously the PS4 admins who came back and was like, well, no, you can't. You're banned. What do you think, Trip? Do you think when you're banned, you shouldn't be allowed to go and use another account, or do you think, well, yeah? I mean, what do you think?
Depends on whether you can police it or not.
Well,
let's be honest. Your options are limited as well. And there are certainly coaches who are perhaps more unlucky or really have issues on their end they can't really solve themselves and get more concedes than that, and I would not really see that big of a problem for them starting over. And let's not forget, if you use another account, you still have to set it up, create, delete, blah, blah, blah. I think those malicious conceders, it's still a bit of barrier for them. Not to go with 3 accounts, none of them even with a chance qualifying, because those players simply suck.
I mean, I think I read one of the Xbox admins saying on the Facebook, like saying, oh yeah, well, if you obviously the concede, just make another account. And I sort of don't see the problem with it. And the thing is, it's going to be really hard to police. But by the sounds of it, the response we've basically given to the coach is this: is like, look, I've asked, they've said not really, and if they found out that you are used after being banned, you've tried to get in by another account, and they can find out it is you, and that's a big if, then you're going to get probably banned for another season or two or whatever, and that seems to be the official word, especially from the PS4 admins, is that we are not. You've been banned because you've gone over the concede limit, and it's there for a reason. What's the point of banning people if they can just go and turn up and do another account? I think Mercy Flush was on about he can track IP addresses. I don't know how true that is. So
but there are ways around that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm
that.
sure there is. Me personally, it's one of those grey areas. I mean, the thing was, it was just being honest. I mean, I sort of, it was funny enough because the guy. When I was looking at leaderboard, I was like, hang on a minute, you're banned, and that name is the same sort of name you use on your other account. So I sort of thought, well, that must be your second account, and obviously then he messaged me and and said, look, can I use this? So I appreciate him coming forward and being honest about it. And I don't think I'd have too much of a problem with it, but it seems like a lot of the other ones do. So the official thing is, if you're caught, you may get banned, so be careful, is all I'm going to say on the matter. But I can see what you're saying is they want it to be hard to police, but more importantly, you have to start from scratch, don't you? So you could have had a really good team. Like this guy actually did have a really good team, and he's been obviously disqualified, so he's going to start from scratch. What's never easy, because it's like, as obviously Gimlick's proven, he had to go with Necro, he had to go with Orc, so it took his third time to get a decent team ready. So it's one of those where it's going to be hard to police, but all I'm going to say is if they do catch you, beware. We may, you may get banned for at least an extra season.
Can you suggest to that player for further seasons? Essentially, just make one team per account before you are banned. Then essentially, admins
I don't know.
have no ground to police you for doing that.
Yeah, I mean. To me personally, I mean, this is why. I mean, if it was me personally, and I always get in trouble because I'm very forthright in what I say, but I don't have a problem with it. But obviously, a lot of other coaches do. And like I said, it's going to be really hard to police. And at the end of the day, I think there's punishment there, where, how can I put it, that they have to restart again. I think the problem is, in what we don't want to see is people just concede, do another account, concede, and just giving away free wins like it's confetti. That's what we really need to clap down on. This guy isn't like that. He just obviously had a bit of unfortunate. He basically thought that was 6 concedes per team. So when we banned him, he had, like, I think the maximum concedes he had in the team was 2. Most of them just had 1, but because he played so many teams, they all added up over the concede limit, and that was the problem. He now knows for following seasons not to do that. I mean, the thing is, guys, as we've said, check the forums. All the rules are on there. They're clear as day, but you'd be amazed how many people either don't know about the forums or can't be bothered to go on the forums, and then they get caught with the pants down and the banned. Because we don't want to ban anybody, because we want, especially on the consoles, because we want more and more people playing. But obviously there is rules there, and if you break them, they're enforced. And if I had gone over the concede limit, I'd be banned. It's same for us as it is for you guys. So yes, just be a bit careful if you are banned and then try with another account, because just be a bit careful. That's all I'm going to say, because the official word is what we're getting. The official word from my PS4 crew is we will not tolerate it. And that's what I basically told the other coach. So there you go. So I just thought I'd obviously put that in there as well. One thing what we need to ask Trippers, though, is, Trippers, is there any chance of you ever coming to the Xbox?
If you send me an Xbox, there's a 100% chance, yeah. Everybody's saying that.
Yeah, but the thing, I mean, obviously, you're quite a popular coach, obviously, kind of a big deal winning the championship. You seem to like, I mean, you've said to me as well that you seem to think the Xbox community are a really nice community. They all seem to get on. And I just thought, with a good community and all that, do you think down the line, I'm not saying now, but do you think down the line, when you obviously win yourself loads of cash in the playoffs, that you would, get an Xbox and join the Xbox team?
I mean, from what I have seen from your streams, Xbox community is great, and there's no doubt about that. But
Yeah.
uh, I think in the end it comes to simply limited resources,
Yeah.
how much time you have.
Mm.
I certainly do not play as much as you do,
No.
and this consideration applies to PC as well. I often check Steam sales and like to see maybe get Blood Bowl on PC for when I, for example, can play on PS4 or
Mm.
whatever. But
Yeah. I'm lucky that I've got it on the Xbox, got it on the PC, I've got it on the PS4. But like, it's time consuming. Like I say, it is for me anyway, because obviously I do the two shows. I do the Xbox one, the PS4 one. I love both communities, but the Xbox community is so passionate. They are so passionate. They're just on another level, I think. In my honest opinion, to the PC, to the PS4, they're just on another level. And they are, they are.
they are great, but I have to say, when things comes to passionate, you certainly cannot top PC hate squads. They are the most passionate.
Yeah.
They may not be very good at Blood Bowl or whatever, but we are certainly passionate at that. And
Yeah,
PC
fair
being big community, as we talked at the start, PS4 has several communities, like 3 major leagues of international speaking, several of certain nationalities. Xbox one, from what I recall, generally has one community, one major private league, essentially same players who play on their C ladder. I get an idea they play or have played in that major league, so it's same pool. And the PC has that so much more players than Xbox or PS4. You go to, for example, Sage's stream. Everybody's nice, cheerful people, very knowledgeable, pleasure to be around. And you go to something like Jimmy Fantastic, and you face bomb all the time.
Yeah, I always class him as a poor man's Cass. I know Cass loves him, but I think Cass is a lot more entertaining than Jimmy. And that's just the way it is. But how can I put it? A few of the Xbox lads, obviously, they either got banned or they're fed up and not getting games. They've been going onto the PC, and they're on the PC about 48 hours, and they're getting smack talk already, and they've got people AFKing for the full game against them. You know, it is a culture shock because, like I said, on the Xbox and the PS4, it's very, very rare you get someone being a complete dick to you or abusive or stalling and going AFK all the time. But it seems like when you go onto the PC, it's just like the Wild Wild West, and everything goes. And it's, it seems like no one's ever immune to, having these dickheads just wasting your time or saying you're going to die of cancer and stupid shit like that. So I do think we're lucky. Okay, we're not as big as the PC, but I am proud to say I am a console player. We seem to be able to have a better etiquette, and we seem to get on a lot more. And there's very, very few dickheads on the console, in my opinion. And I think console players should be proud of that. Could we ever see you going to making you say Xbox? Well, it's all about finances and stuff like that. But could we ever see Trippers go onto the PC and try and win the PC title?
PC title, I'm not sure. I think PC needs a bit more grind than PS4, mostly because while you would face top coaches a bit more rarely, you have to produce a lot longer strings of wins against weaker coaches, and which essentially is more games. You have to play more games.
Yeah.
Because I think anybody can face 16 easy coaches in a row PC, well, that is virtually impossible on PS4 or Xbox One, and if you wanted to even get close to those
Yeah,
qualification deciding games, you had to play those 20 games, 30 games
yeah,
with your race just for the chance of meeting your direct competition and
yeah.
forcing them to submit.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean, there's always this enigma, or there was. I mean, I don't know if it's as bad now, where the PCs, the master race, are far superior to the consoles, you know. But we've seen people like Jimmy Fantastic, who's obviously a big, massive name on the PC world, and you know, people say he's a very good coach. He's really, really good. He came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm coming to the PS4. Grab the cash, no problem. You lot can't play, blah blah blah." Or people were saying that for him, whoever. He came onto the PS4. He played some of our lesser coaches, wiped the floor with them. But every time he bumped into a decent coach, well, we'd class as a decent coach on the PS4, the best he could do was draw or lose, and then he left. He couldn't get into the playoffs, and you know. That's one of their better players on the PC. He couldn't even get to the playoffs on the PS4, so surely we can't be that far behind. Really, surely not. Surely, you know, I sort of think if it is a grand on the PC, but in a way, I think it might even be easier on the PC to qualify because, you know, there's so many more players. So, like I said, there's more chance to play an average coach or a crap coach. Where on the Xbox at the moment, if you spin now, you'll be looking to get a game, and if you do, it'll be one of the top out of the top 30 coaches you'll be playing against. You won't get an easy game now. It just ain't happening. Where you can go on the PC like I have, and you can get an easy coach even now. So, you know, I don't think that, you know, I think this is just one of those myths. There is some extremely great coaches like Anarion and all that, and Duke and that. They are fantastic, but I don't think they're that far ahead at all. I really don't. And I think Mutt, who was obviously in chat, he proved it when Calcium Cast turned around and said, "Xbox players are fucking shite." Or something to that thing. And obviously Mutt's like, well, hang on a minute, I'm an Xbox coach. First season in the PS4 Cup, I got to the semi-final. So you know, and like I said, there's a lot of coaches. Space Magic, he would kill it in the PS4. SL Hunter, he's another one who would kill it on the PS4. Drake is a bit of a different thing because he's PC and Xbox. Tomidus, he's another class coach. There's so many decent coaches on the Xbox, and when I went out to the Xbox, I was told the Xbox is easy. Or Ben, you'll murder it over there. And I'll tell you what, it's harder on the Xbox than it is on the PS4 because it's not a bigger pool, and you've got more chance of playing one of the top players on the Xbox. So you know, my thing is the PC's got some great coaches, the Xbox got some great coaches, so does the PS4. I don't think there's a master race. The only thing I'll agree with is obviously the PC's a much bigger player base, and you know that's what I think. I don't know if you've got anything else to say on that. Have you a Trip or?
Well, I think one has to be fair as far as Blood Bowl community being bigger is plainly better because what you said before about Xbox One, not finding a game at this moment or having to wait half an hour is certainly an issue. It's not as big an issue for you and me who know what's normal, but if it's a new guy who's trying to get in, finding the ropes, it's certainly not good for them.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I'm a bit concerned because obviously season 9 on the Xbox was a farce. Poor old Tizzlebizzle did his best, bless him. We never had a Skaven representative. That they couldn't get coaches. I think we had a guy who got through with a record of 1 none, lost 3. So that is a major downer, and you know something needs to be done. And then season 10 comes along. First few weeks, wow, it was brilliant. We're all back to where it should be, and now. And I get this, because it happens on the PS4 as well, that later on it does die down. But I think PS4 hasn't been too bad because obviously the wildcard spots. But on the Xbox, like I say, it is so hard to get a game. And like I said, if you're a new coach and you're not used to it and you spin and you don't get a game, for I don't know 2-3 hours or whatever, then you know. I mean, Carlton Cast this morning tried to get a game, couldn't get a game. The day before, I think he took
Because
him.
it's the morning.
Well, no, not just the
uh,
morning, but during the
uh,
day. I mean, I played a game in the morning on a
and
Saturday.
during the day, only housewives play. Only you play during the day, and kids.
Hey, you're the one with the York Housewives. Don't give me that. But even on Saturday, right? Even on Saturday, I played a game in the morning with little Yoshi about I don't know 8 a.m. something like that, and then I tuned in on about 4 p.m. 5 p.m. and that was still the only game played on a Saturday on a weekend. How can that possibly be right? This is the full world. This isn't just one country. This is the full world. And this is why I'm like a broken record, but I'm pleading to the admins on the Xbox to go 2 minutes because it's so hard. And much saying, it's very hard to get a game on the Xbox, but I've got no problems on the PS4. But I've spoke to a few Xbox coaches, they're saying, yeah, because it takes so freaking long, 3 minutes. Sometimes they only have an hour and a half, and a dead spin. Because it can take me about 10-15 minutes to get a game on the Xbox if I'm lucky. But if it's a 2-minute game, then I'll play the game more. And the sort of feedback I've got from the Xbox community is if they go to 2 minutes, there'll be more games played. And I think we've seen that on the PS4, that it's very, very popular. And much saying they need 2 minutes badly, but I don't like going back to the passionate thing with the Xbox. I've got to know, like, most of these are like family to me, the Xbox lot. We have such a good time. They are a great set of lads. And I just don't want them to lose the premium competition because the private leagues are strong, and maybe that's the problem. Everybody wants to play in the private league, but they need to have this because if they're done. And you've got person with a PS4 and an Xbox. Oh, look, if I go on the PS4 can win cash and there's a Champions League, the Xbox don't have it. Oh, I'll buy it for the PS4. And my fear is the Xbox will end up dying. And we can't have that. We need the Xbox community to be up there. And I think the PS4...
I do not think Xbox is dying. I think essentially its size is just below that minimum threshold to have the format which works on PC but also on PS4 to work on Xbox One. Certainly 2 minutes would help, but it wouldn't solve a problem. For example, I have now Goblin Spy by Modric open, and one interesting thing, when you look at the races, and I would like to point out it might not be complete. Data, something might be missing, but when I look on Xbox, there only like 15 halfling teams made. Okay. I'm sorry, just because it was showing I was thinking it was 0, but there are 15 teams made, so maybe somebody will qualify. But essentially, some teams are bound to be more popular than others. It's only natural how things, as far as Champions Cup is concerned, is the ultimate trash tier in my eyes. So it will be harder to convince people to play them either way, which is quite fine. But you will face those problems, like there not being a Skaven team or not being an just X team, random team from time to time, just because you have not enough players to have that bare minimum team race. And also, if you go scrapping down the barrel for players, naturally you would get less active players into playoffs. And if you look at the timing, next season starts next week. PS4 the playoffs finished this week. Xbox One are not finished. You do not have any room for leeway. PC is not finished either, and you get less active players, and things will drag on if they do not drag. If you do not let them drag, then you will kick those players without even playing. So,
Yeah.
and essentially, it wouldn't even matter that you got them to accept their ticket.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean I think it was SL Hunter who said, look, you can talk about the time all you like, but what Xbox need is more coaches. If they had more coaches, then the 3 minutes, 2 minutes wouldn't be an option. It wouldn't be a problem. But my thing is, if you go 2 minutes, you might get more coaches because consoles are more used to playing games that are fast, like Call of Duty, for instance, and stuff like that. You know, fast-paced games. So maybe if you make the game a bit more fast-paced, more people will play it, and more people might have the extra hour and 10 minutes where they'll risk playing on 2 minutes where they wouldn't on 3 minutes. I just personally think the way is that what's to lose? There's not enough games being played as it is. If this thing works, then it's going to be a good thing for it. And if it doesn't, you can go back to 3 minutes. I just think it's a no-brainer. But obviously, it's not my decision. We'll see how the Xbox admins decide to go on it. We'll see how obviously.
Well, I personally think 2 minutes are plain better, but the core issue, I think it's not in competition of Blood Bowl itself. I think the core issue is that just not enough people have Xbox. That's why you should send me one.
Yeah. Well, that's
but
what
I'm
Duran
quite
said.
serious. I'm playing on PS4 not because I like PS4 community more. It's easier to play here, whatever. I just like my PS4. I like playing on PS4, and multi-platform games I prefer to play on PS4. And just so happens to be PS4 Blood Bowl version is almost flawless, but blue screens, of course. But that's really minor issue in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think as well the PS4, especially with Twitch and stuff like that, is it's so more user friendly. It's so more user friendly. I mean, even now, like I'm twitching, and on my screen, on down the right hand side, I've got everybody speaking to me, so I can see nice and easy who's saying what. On the Xbox, you don't get that. I have to keep switching from my PC into my computer and all that, you know, and my console. And I just think when I go through all the menus and that, PS4 is a lot more easy to use than the Xbox, and I think that always puts a bit more on there. And I also think PS4 is a lot more popular than the Xbox, isn't it, as well? So that always helps. Most PC players want 2 minutes as well. If you ask them, see, I was surprised at that because when What's Which admin said this. And I was like, really? And I was like, wow, okay. I always had the impression that they want the 3 minutes. But it's interesting you said that a lot of them want 2 minutes. Maybe that's why the admin said, you know what, guys, do you think we should go 2 minutes? It is, to me, it is the best way to do it. I mean, as a PS4 community, apart from FanFox, everybody else has seemed to be really positive of it. Everyone loves it. You still get your 3 minutes for your playoffs, so you don't lose it on there. So you get the extra time. You get more. Well, you've got the potential, shall we say, to get more games in, and it's just better. It's just better. I think if we went back to 3 minutes now, we'd cause a freaking riot. I honestly do on the PS4. I think we would lose. I think our production would go down if we went back to 3 minutes. And it'd be good to see.
I was supposed when it made 3 minutes, but at release it was 2 minutes everywhere, and it was 2 minutes for a very long while. So essentially, people got used to 2 minutes, and they didn't think it could even be otherwise. And then suddenly, oh, let's give people 3 minutes, and like, for example, I didn't understand why. Why would why would anyone want 3 minutes when we had 2 minutes and like, yeah, sure, so some turns were cut short, but it wasn't even something we'd consider. And now that we have 3 minutes, one thing many of us faced, it just made that 2 hour stalling when somebody goes AFK into 3 hour stalling.
Oh yeah, it was just it's mental. It is absolutely mental when they do that. But like I said, at least with 2 minutes, it's not as long. But yeah, that is interesting to see what obviously Triffic has said there is that most PC players want the 2 minutes. So that's maybe why the PC admin said, you know what, how about 2 minutes? Because I wasn't expecting it. I just thought, you know what, it must be a PS4 thing. So, you know, that's where it is.
Level than we do, at least. I think you agree that, for example, Sage has better streaming setup than you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone's got a better stream setup than me.
He has the lamp
The lamp.
trumps everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, they need that time to engage with their community. So them saying, "Oh, 3 minutes makes things so much easier for me," and I think it might have just been essentially vocal minority.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously, there will be a decision made very shortly because, like I say, we are getting close to the cut-off point. So, be interesting to see what they decide with the wildcards. It'll be interesting to see if either the Xbox or the PC go 2 minutes. I've said my view on it. So that's me done on there unless Nethos and ask me for my opinion any further. I'll be done that because PS4's got it, we've got it, we're all right with it. We've told them the benefits of it, and it's up to the Xbox admins and the PC admins to decide if they want to try it. But I think, you know, try it for a season. If it works, keep it. If not, we can go back to 3 minutes. It's a win-win, to be honest. So anyway, that's basically it for this week. It's annoying that we had the bloody cut off because I'm going to have two freaking bloody, I don't know, I've got two bloody episodes, haven't I? I can't put them together because I'm useless technology. So this will be part 2 and the other one's obviously part 1. My bloody internet, bloody useless. So yeah, thanks again to the Season 9 champion Trippers, and good luck in Season 10 with your Norse. Hope to do very well for you. Thanks for everybody who's been in the stream. We've been obviously updated as well, very popular. All I'm going to say is, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do, because I put all the stuff on there. Everything's on there. Anybody who knows Calcium Cast, we did a very, very interesting interview with Calcium Cast yesterday in a no-holds-bars interview. It was a lot of fun. Typical Calcium Cast, smack talking, giving us some really good one-liners and loads of funny stuff.
Not typical. I think he was pretty timid.
Oh, I think it's... No, Jimmy, you're joking, aren't you? But it was really good. So if you have not seen that, that's on my YouTube channel as well. That is really, really good. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Because like I said, they'll tell you when I get new content on. They'll tell you when the Nuffle Shuffle's on, the Blow in the Box, playoff games, you name it, whatever goes on there. And like I say, if you haven't seen the Calcium Cast one, please do. It's been probably one of my most popular viewed episodes. But that's because it's so funny. So there you go. So yeah, thanks again, like I said, to Trip. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Hope you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, this is going to be 2 parts. So if you just come in late, there is another part to it, so you can see on my YouTube channel. And we will see you on Sunday for Blood on the Box. I've already got that booked with a coach, and hopefully I'm going to try and get the Nuffle Shuffle done Sunday, no later than Monday as well. And yeah, we're almost there, lads. We're almost there. Season 10 playoffs. We're almost there, and we'll soon be on to Season 11. Oh, I'll tell you what, there was one thing I forgot to say, so I'll quickly tell you now. Obviously, December's coming up, so basically, I've already had the okay off the Xbox community. We're going to be doing some crazy shit. I've got loads of crazy stuff planned, loads of fun stuff we're going to be streaming regarding Blood Bowl, just crazy shows and crazy games and stuff like that. I'm going to try and get the likes of like Teddy Tom, Tripperers, Bearzo, some crazy motherfuckers on the PS4 to do it for the PS4 thing. Hopefully there won't be Grinches and they'll join in as well. So keep an eye on my YouTube channel, because there's going to be some really fun, crazy games on there. Because it's the Christmas time, and we just got to get pissed and have some fun. So be careful, get watching, and anybody who wants to join in with these crazy games either on the Xbox or the PS4, let me know, or put it in either Discord or on the YouTube channel, tell me, or even message me on PSN or Xbox, and I'll put you on the list. So there we go. So that's us done. Thanks very much, and we will see you on Sunday. From me and from Trip, see you later. Bye bye.
Woo!
Woo!